Joseph Cook here, again, President of WPIC Marketing and Technologies, joined by Jacob Cook, our CEO. As we know, we're in the preheat time of the year that everybody pays attention to around Singles Day and 11/11. We've had a squad on site, on premise at Alibaba headquarters in Hangzhou ever since the beginning of September when we started the preheat campus workshops. Jacob, we've got an army basically on the ground, camped out in Hangzhou for about 60 odd days, liaising for the brands. What's going on? What's the latest on the ground? What are we expecting?
Well, the first meeting started a couple of weeks ago, beginning of September, and from there we've been doing excessive planning. I think one of the things that we've always looked at is the pattern that follows 618 into 11/11, where 11/11 has always been bigger than 618. I would say 618 caught us by surprise. I don't think anybody predicted 138 billion, but now that we know potentially that's going to be a bigger day in November, we're getting ready for it very early.
Okay, so we in Q1 of this year, obviously an awkward year with respect to retail sales globally. We've had the good fortune in China where it's maintained its position as a general buy market. Nobody expected, as you said, for 618 to be a total smasher with respect to the GMV. We were calling for 618 to be the single most important retail event in the world for the first half of the year. We've been calling for 11/11 to be probably 2020's most important retail event globally in the entire year. What's your assessment, coming up to it? Is it going to be equally as important as 618 was?
Well, there's no reason to think for 10 years 11/11 in a row has beat out 618. So yes, there's no reason to think that's not going to happen. I mean, if you look at WPIC's investments towards that date, we've just expanded another 65,000 square feet of warehouse space to really hold that additional demand for 11/11 and beyond.
Right, so 11/11 traditionally it's been, somewhat exclusive. Everybody wants in. Alibaba and JD don't necessarily want everybody in. We've experienced a couple of new things. We've obviously run 2 batches of accelerators this year. The Q1 batch 1 accelerator obviously was to race people in for 618. The second batch that we ran over the summer was to get everybody in to 11/11. I think we were somewhat surprised with Alibaba and JD's acceptance to let these new brands get into the platform. Are you seeing the platforms being, continuously cooperative as we're getting closer and closer to 11/11 and letting more folks in?
We're certainly seeing Tmall Global become more cooperative. I think Tmall Local is getting to be more backlogged in terms of applications second half of the year, and that's really okay because as those platforms continue to merge and the acquisition of Kaola, etc., you're really starting to look at that now as one single platform in terms of the front end for sure, and then how you reconcile your inventory and your funds back to your home currency is a little bit different, but really you can now choose as a consumer. With live streaming and all these other tactics now being so important, both platforms have equal access to that advertising, really equalizing the playing field.
So basically getting into that kind of zone of indifferent between cross-border and local?
Getting more so that way for sure.
Okay, so also we've just cut ribbon on the brand new 5.5, 6 square kilometer warehousing logistics hub, the next campus that we've just launched. Ready for 11/11. Is this going to be able to facilitate and support brands for 11/11 as well?
Well, it is, and some exceptions are now being granted for us to fulfill bonded from there too as well, which is going to help with the backlog on 11/11. So still some brands that couldn't get enough inventory space for sign out or really do as much damage as they wanted to on 11/11, we're able to come in now behind and provide that additional capacity so they can really start to see, what $150 billion a day is going to look like.
Sure. So, for some bonus points, 12/12. Historically, we've talked about 11/11 and then coming out of 11/11 and racing right into 12/12. Is this going to be a relevant event this year?
Yeah, we'll get a day off, I think, right after that.
Okay.
Get a good night's sleep and then right back at it. And then I think, again, too, one of the things that I hope people are remembering last year was how well those pre-Chinese New Year sales were doing in January. So there's no reason to not think we have a really good, winter ahead of us.
Right. Okay, we're going to put our heads down for a little while. We're going to get into 11/11. We're obviously going to be, working around the clock. Teams are camped out on site at the Alibaba HQ campus, and of course on premise at our facility as well as we run these sort of midnight shifts to facilitate 11/11. We've got our Q4 accelerator in full swing right now. Get in touch to ask some questions about that. We'd love to talk as well about our logistics facility that Jacob was just speaking about as well. Open door policy at all of our locations, so come on in, check it out, and hope to connect with you all soon. For any questions, don't hesitate to send us an email, info@wpic.co, or visit our website where everything we're talking about is going to be on that site as well, wpic.co.